the money, watch the whole team win.
You know, when I first started photographing, which has been a number of years now, I used to get really discouraged. I used to get pissed off like it was nobody's business whenever there was an appointment on the books for, say, a headshot. Because when I started out remotely doing acting headshots for actors and business people, but predominantly actors. And because I didn't know better, or because I was afraid, more so than knowing better, that if I was to ask for a deposit on a shoot, that the person that I was trying to entice to come in the front of my camera would change their mind, or be like, "Nah, I'm not interested," well, which is the same thing. Which in hindsight, I would now attribute to a lack of confidence in even though I know that and knew that my product or my ability was good, it was a lack of confidence in that ability and a lack of confidence in pursuing my real intent, which is to be a professional, to be seen as a professional, to operate as a professional, and to make money as a professional. But because of the hang-ups of being more concerned about being seen as, was it a friend, or what? Because most of the people I dealt with at the time were a lot of people I would consider to be close friends or friends. But now I know, based upon the experiences in which I've been through, I know that that is bullshit, and that there needs to be a different dynamic when it comes to your craft. If you're working towards becoming a professional, it's important that you start to pick up the habits, the attributes of professionals, and that is things that give you credibility, things that get you away from being a starving artist, especially when you have overhead, when you have responsibilities with like a wife, kids, camera, whatever your responsibilities are. 9 times out of 10, those responsibilities are going to come with some sort of financial need that has to be fulfilled. So it's very interesting, to say the least, that now when I look back at all of the things in which I should have done and did not do, and I see the way in which those things affected the way I'm perceived in the marketplace, it is like, wow, we make our beds. We make our beds as a result of the actions that we take. And regardless of how much times we try to reinvent ourselves or reinvent the wheel, the hard truth of the matter is that we have to be deliberate. We have to be deliberate. And this is the young artists coming up. You have to be deliberate. You cannot afford to play it safe. You cannot afford to have less confidence within yourself. This is a gradual process, a day at a time. Each shoot makes you better. Each makeup session makes you better. Each hair session makes you better. Each modeling session makes you better. It's gradual. It's incrementation. This is not just a step on the scene one day and you're great. No. Things that I did not know, things that I know now that I didn't know then, I now know. And the only way, the reality of it is, for me to have known what I know now, I have had to have gone through the journey of experience, putting it together, making it, like trying to figure it out, actually using brain power and putting myself into situations where I'm forced to solve this problem, you know? So as far as this journey of an artist and this journey of a photographer, it's not overnight, but it's also about making sure that you make as little mistakes as possible when it comes to dealing with the general public or the people who you're looking to hire you on as an artist to fulfill their particular photographic need. So you have to have a sense of confidence. And I think one of the best ways that I've realized or established confidence comes in is doing the work, doing the work. And whenever you're not gonna get everything within the first session. Uh, to some things you're gonna forget. So with each time after you're done with a shoot, there's the assessment period of what could I have done better with this shoot. Could I have could I have had a better dialogue between myself and the model, or could the communication between myself and the client could have been much more sound, so as that I knew, or I would have a concrete understanding, and they would have a concrete understanding as to where we're meeting of the minds and where we diverge. Okay, how would I would approach this retouching? Should I have done it so heavy-handedly? Should I pull it back and keep it subtle? These are things you come to learn and you come to understand because you have to assess yourself. So the idea of having a successful shoot and being satisfied with that is okay. If you need that quick sense of morale boost, that's cool. But just relying on that and being comfortable with that, then I think there's something wrong, because it just tells me that you're content with being mediocre. And I don't think that any artist should be content with this notion of just being mediocre. Mediocre is just, that's novice. But if you're trying to be a professional, I think that it's always that you should be your hardest critic. You should be your hardest critic, and anyone else that comes and say, hey, I don't like that photo, this, that, or the third, chances are you know why you don't like it, and whatever they're saying, this, that, or the third, it's like, okay, I understand that. But I take what you're saying, and it's one to grow on, but it's not one for me to be discouraged about. It's to grow on, Photo business is a very strange business. And it's, I've learned that it's a lot about who you know, the relationships in which you build. And this is why I'm so adamant that as photographers and as creators, we need to really come together and build a community of like-minded individuals who are pursuing the same intent, which is to create art or to breathe new life into things that's trapped in our heads, so that we can give a gift to the world. So that just means, as a photographer and a model and makeup artist and stylist and whomever, coming together and marrying ideas to give birth to something new. It may not be my idea, but my ability to light and do composition will be great, and maybe a retoucher can come in and lend his skill, and we got it's just working together and building a community. And like I've said on my previous post, is that we operate a lot of times as if though there is a famine mentality, and we see it when it comes to trying to solicit help from models, or solicit help from makeup artists, or anyone who has something to offer. There's always, well, what's the financial incentive? I understand the financial incentive. Everybody wants to get paid, but what are you doing right now? I'm not getting a check right now. You're not getting a check. I'm sure you have ideas and you have some things that you want to add to your book. So why not, let's be smart about it and get ourselves together and start putting in the work, letting the work start to come about, instead of waiting for someone to cut a check just so that we can start doing the work. And then that means, because that tells me that you just want to learn on the job. I'm like, no, when I get on the job, I want to be as proficient as possible. I want to get in there and I want to get the job done. And I want to get the job done as best as I can, because that's what they're hiring me for my ability to be proficient and my ability to be a professional. So if you want to wait till you get on the job, then that's going to attack your reputation, that you're trying to build. Yeah, man, I think that we just got to change the way we communicate and we participate with each other as artists. because it makes more sense to work together and to form a group that we build off of each other, and we motivate and we move forward with each other. And I'm not saying that we all have to be in the same clique or whatever, but it's nice to have a reliable group of men and women that you can say, hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'm not doing anything. Hey, I got this project. What do you think about this? Want to help me out with this? Oh yeah, let me get down with that. Let me help you at that. I mean, it may be 2 photographers. I'll be your assistant. Maybe I can render some give you some insights that I can see that we need to improve upon. you know. But I think we definitely have to get away from this mind state of less, that there's not enough to go around. There's enough to go around. It's just the way you approach it. Anyhow, I got work to do. Peace.